The summary begins with Mimi, a cute girl who appears to be in her early 20s and looks like the moon. But what no one knows is that she has lived for 2,000 years and seen everything. If she told you that she learned everything from scratch, she literally learned it from scratch. She knows everything, big and small, that happened throughout history. This is because she is cursed, and someone has placed a curse on her that she will never be able to get rid of. She will remain like this, unable to die. Years pass, and she sees all her loved ones dying around her except for her, who lives as she is. So Mimi decides to give herself a new chance in life, hoping that something new will happen. She decides to work in a big news company. She is very excited to get to know her colleagues at work. From the first day, she meets another cute girl named Jilly. She tells her that she has been working there for 2 months and asks her to be friends forever. Mimi, she gets happy and agrees because unfortunately she is an introverted person and it is not easy for anyone to befriend her. Jilly introduces her to the rest of the team. The first of them is a guy named Jack who doesn't care about anything as much as food. Their second colleague is Kylie, who is going to die and get married, but no one even looks at her. As for their third colleague, John, my dear viewer, he does not need an introduction to Mimi because his family is supposed to be responsible for serving her, and John is the only person who knows that she is cursed. Anyway, after she gets to know them, a handsome young man suddenly enters with coffee, and Jilly tells her that he also works in the coffee shop in front of them. If you want anything to eat or drink, like it. Click subscribe and tell him anything you want. He will let you know that the like is from here and the subscription is from here. She says it's good that you reminded me because I forget, by God. After that, she finds John in front of her, telling her that he knows a solution to her curse. She tells him to say what it is. They were all saying the same, meaning he was telling her, shame on you, have faith in me so that your curse ends. You must meet your true love and be connected to him. He is the only person who will allow you to die. The only person who will allow you to rest alive from the worries you are in. She said to him, where will I find him, Mona? He said to her, don't worry, your love is in this office. He will arrive in 5 minutes. In that time, he will deliver the new employee who will work with them in the company. He seems smart and handsome. When Kylie, who is in love with him, sees him, she tells them that he has become the hate of my eyes and my heart. She tries to get him, but he doesn't care about her at all. He goes down and introduces himself to the rest of the team one day, saying that his name is Tao. After the whole team completes and they all gather together, the old manager tells them that a new manager is coming to the company. His name is Jimmy, and he is the one who will replace me. Unfortunately, I bid you farewell to a few employees. Everyone remembers that since he is a manager, he will be old, just like the one before him, but they are shocked when they see him as a handsome young man, more handsome than the one before him. He introduces himself and tells them that his name is Jimmy. Whenever Jilly sees him, she falls in love with him, especially when he invites them all to lunch. He tells them to order whatever they want and not to worry about the bill at all. Kylie gets excited and orders everything on the menu. To be honest, Jimmy doesn't skimp on them, but Tao notices that Jimmy's gaze is always on Mimi, especially since she is a beautiful girl and the only one who hasn't tried to impress him since he arrived. But before he can talk or get to know her, Jimmy gathers them and tells them that today is their first day at work. He asks them to investigate the murder of the girl they found last week. He divides them into teams and puts Tao and Mimi together. He gets very excited because this is a good opportunity to get to know her. And as soon as he sees her, he says to her, I feel like I saw you before. She tells him no, it is definitely impossible, but he doesn't care. And when she goes back to the office, Jilly and Kelly keep nagging him so that she gets to know Tao. You girl, the way is coming to you. And you are also on the team. I mean, what is the world not going to bring him down? She tells them from my eyes she starts doing strange and backward things that make him afraid of her and stay away from her. So they tell her enough. He looks like he is crazy. Focus on the manager, Jimmy. At least, a manager, and he has a lot of money. She tells them enough. I won't be able to make anyone fall in love with me. I think I will live alone my whole life, but they keep after her and encourage her. They tell her, you are up to it. So she gets excited and tells them, don't worry. I will get a groom. I will get a groom. John tells her as long as you are following the two who have they got engaged and didn't see an engagement. Really, a groom will come to you if you want to know when. When they die and you continue your life, it's not your time yet. There might be a chance or something, girl. We want to get rid of this mother of a curse. Don't you understand? She tells him, don't worry. Shame on you. Tomorrow I will make someone fall in love with me and bring him to the company here for you to see for yourself. Then she gets excited to go back home. On her way, she meets Kamal, the restaurant owner, and by chance, her house is next to his. They agree that they will get back together every time. Then she leaves him and goes. The first thing she does the next day is put on makeup and makes her decision that today she will make someone fall in love with her. And she must get engaged to him in order to finish Dot from the curse, and she can live like a normal human being and die and ask Kamal like this about his opinion of her makeup. He tells her frankly the dog disgusts her. She tells him to shut up and keep to yourself enough. You destroyed all your ambitions. I was wrong to ask you. And when she arrives at the company, she finds Jimmy in her face. The first time he sees her, he keeps praising her and tells her that she looks pretty today. She says, "But this is what I want." This way, the hook winked and I will be able to make him fall in love. But when she arrives at the company, she finds them all sitting tense, and when she asks them about what happened, they tell her that a strange accident happened yesterday, and they found an old woman thrown in the trash. And when they lifted her fingerprints to know her identity, they discovered that they were actually the fingerprints of a young girl, not an old woman. So they do not understand how Date came to Date. And the problem is more, who is the assistant, the new investor with us whose name is Pam? And they are all worried and tense, and they don't understand anything, and how his secretary or assistant has become an old woman. And in the middle of their conversation, Pam himself arrives and says to them, "Look, I was at the crime scene yesterday, and I am very upset because his assistant died, and he wants to know what the big secret is behind her." And he asks them to investigate with him. And when Pam hints that Mimi is there and she looks beautiful, he says who is the beautiful girl, and he keeps flirting with her. She gets very happy and can't believe that two men are fighting over her. And she asks before this, "And what should I do now?" Tell me, he says to her. "Look, just as we told you, you have to follow our decisions and do the right thing. Choose the one you feel you like." So she tells them, "Okay, forget about this topic now, and let's see what's behind us because there is a lot of work." And she goes to Tao. When she asks him what he will do, he asks her to go with him so he can investigate the crime. She gets upset because he is the only one who did not comment on her appearance or say that she is beautiful or ugly, so she asks him when they will go and investigate. He tells her to get ready tomorrow. She wears the piece on the rope to attract his attention, like Jimmy and any young man who saw her and liked her appearance. Indeed, when she goes to the company the next day, everyone is shocked by her beauty and happy with her new haircut, especially Jimmy, who, when he first sees her, he keeps praising her and saying, "Oh, no, the stadium is on fire." But Tao still does not pay attention to her, so she gets even more annoyed with him, but she does not care and says, "Tomorrow you will go and come back, and you will not find anyone in front of you but me." She goes with him so that they meet his friend, Pam's assistant, who died. When they ask her if she knows anything about her or how she died, she tells him that she didn't know anything except that she went out with a famous and rich person and sent her a video from there as well to tell her that she was happy. And they watched the video to be able to understand who exactly she was with. But the picture of this man is not clear at all, but at least they know the last place she was yesterday in a famous hotel, and they decide to go and search the hotel's camera at that time to find out who exactly she was with and whether the curse is really real or what. Tao goes to the hotel manager and asks him to see the surveillance cameras. He asks him about the reason. He tells him that he is from the police and is investigating the issue of a girl whose last place she was here. The hotel manager automatically tells him, "Show me the card that proves you are an officer." At that time, he gets tense and realizes that he is a con artist and throws him out of the hotel. But at that time, he meets Pam by chance and asks him what he is doing here in the hotel. He tells him that he just came to see something. Nothing more. Then Tao asks him, "What brought you here?" And, "A toot, you too, dear." He tells him that he doesn't like to go out a lot here and meets pretty girls. Then he says goodbye and leaves. At that moment, Tao looks at the watch on his hand and realizes that it is the watch of the man who was in the video with the girl. He begins to suspect that the manager, Bam, is the reason behind killing his assistant. He might be possessed and put a spell on her, which is why she has become old. There is no other solution. He decides that he must return to the hotel again and enter without anyone knowing, and check the surveillance cameras himself. Jack decides to help him from there and monitor the atmosphere so that if anything happens, he can alert him to escape quickly instead of someone catching him. But the matter takes a long time, and unfortunately, Jack gets fed up. Jimmy decides to change places. He tells him to go. Now he is resting, and I will take care of Ta and inform him that if anything happens at the same time, He might steal the key and enter the camera room to see exactly what happened. But the pig manager arrives and decides to take revenge on him. At the same time, Mimi also knows what is happening, so she decides to go and help him. When he first sees her, he is surprised and asks her where she knew he was here. How did she tell him that Jack called her? He told her that they started watching the cameras together, but unfortunately the person they are looking for does not even appear, and someone remains hidden like this, so they cannot reach him. But Tao does not care and transfers everything to a flash drive quickly. So when he goes back to watch comfortably, but suddenly the pig manager arrives and tries to kill Tao. But Mimi is the one who takes the stab in his place, and everyone is shocked that nothing happened to her and she doesn't die. The pig manager doesn't give up and goes out as well. A demon. Without warning, Tao goes outside the room to see what Mimi is and what her story is. He tries to finish her off, but he still doesn't know because she is very strong, and the idiot is the one who dies. But Mimi comes back to life before Tao sees her and suspects her. But Tao already saw everything and was shocked. He called the police and told them that there is a demon in the hotel. Come quickly because I saw him doing strange things just now. Magic and sorcery. I seek God's forgiveness. The police came quickly and arrested him. But when they reviewed the cameras, they discovered that none of the stupid things that Tao kept saying had happened. And they thought that they are all playing on him, so he went to Jimmy and told him that he is sure that what he saw is real. Jimmy stood in line and told the police that they will review the cameras again. But the policeman had an endgame and told them that whoever says one more word, I will detain him today. Do you understand or not? We do not need anything. Stop this shit you are drinking. Tao is shocked and knows that no one will be able to get him his rights, so he left. Mimi goes after him and tells him that she believes him and knows that what happened is real and not a lie, and that she really did not die. He tried to get rid of her, but the idea is that there is no evidence that they can use against him. Tao decides that he will not give up and will reach the real criminal and find out who he is. When Berg returns to the office, they all gather and Pam tells them that he decided to take out insurance for them at his own expense since they think their work is good. Consider this an invitation from me to you since he is very rich. They are happy that now they will be able to reveal themselves for free and the world will be just grapes and money. Suddenly, Kamal sneezes on Mimi's face, but the shock is that she does not feel affected or feel anything. She notices this generation of mine and is surprised and thinks that he was in strange moments before. And there are many things. Mimi does not react to anything, nor does she feel angry. She was in pain and did not feel that the person in front of her could have infected her when he sneezed on her face. That's why when she goes to face her and says to her, I've been watching you for a while, I'm suspicious of you. No, you're not normal, girl. You don't lose weight, you don't get tired, you don't feel hungry. And you tell her, there's no comfort in the 5 in your eyes. Do you envy me or what? This, thank God, is a blessing from God. She tells her, are you going to do it to me again? I doubt you. And you look like you're not a normal human being. You look like you have special abilities. At that moment, Mimi is shocked and afraid that her secret will be discovered, so she pretends to feel pain. But of course, Jilly doesn't believe her and keeps trying to make sure herself and pins her, but she still doesn't feel it. Even when Jimmy invites her to lunch and she stings her, she still doesn't feel it, and her expression keeps getting hotter and hotter. After he finishes, he offers to drive Jimmy since her house is on his way, and she tells him, how did you know where my house is anyway? Shame on you, you're an employee of mine. I know everything about everyone here. The idiot believes what he says and goes with him, and Kamal goes with them too because his house is right in front of her, and he feels that the weather is very cold and is surprised that the two of them are sitting together. They are not good at all, on the contrary. They turn on the air conditioning and the world is full of bad things, but he does not care much. It seems that these two, dear viewer, have been living for a long time and they come and go, and each one relaxes in his home. The next day, she goes to the company, and Tao asks her to help him with the case because Jimmy gave him permission to continue with it. She agrees, but suddenly he calls Gemma, and when she arrives, he tells her that he and Pam decided to make a very big deal with them and asks her to come to dinner with them for him. She is confused at first, but she agrees. And as soon as she says amen, he says, just stay with me, Uncle Jimmy, and I will arrange things with Mimi. I don't want anything, but the manager is late for his job. Pam takes advantage of the opportunity and tries to make Mimi laugh and make her drink. This is because he is a despicable person who is used to doing this with girls, that he takes pictures of them and takes pictures of them. But she is not affected at all, and the juice that they drink does not affect her, and he is the one who gets dizzy and shocked. But Jimmy arrives at the last moment and tells him that he has important things he wants to say to Mimi. He takes her and leaves. On the way, he apologizes to her for letting her go with a pig like him in the first place because he didn't know his intentions. He takes her home to check on her. As for our friend, Professor Bam, he meets a new girl and decides to make fun of her. He enters his hotel room, but when he wakes up the next day, she is shocked to find him next to an old girl. She is shocked and tries to defend himself, but no one believes him. The news spreads on TV, and they say that they have arrested the butcher who harms girls, the butcher who turns them all into old women corpses. The news reaches the company as well, and Jimmy apologizes to them because he did not know that the butcher is the same person who invested with them and makes them promises. After that, he will investigate well before appointing anyone with them in the company as an investor. But Tao is not convinced by this foolish talk and feels that there is another person who responded to Pam and goes to talk to Mimi and asks her if she is also convinced that Pam is the one who did this. She tells him, "I feel that the matter is in that I am with you. In general, whatever you want to do, my hand is in yours." He takes advantage of the opportunity and says to her, "You are the one who said it yourself. In general, I doubt you." She tells him, "I doubt me. I don't understand." He tells her, "We met before." She gets nervous and says to him, "My son, I told you no." He says to her, "How is that? I remember well that I saw you a long time ago. You will tell me why. I will tell you because I was 8 years old and you are the one who saved me and my friend." She tells him, "My son, 8 years. How do you remember my son? You imagine me, my son. I mean, you want me to be better than 8 years ago?" Until now, it's the same, but he prefers to insist on his decision that he saw her before and said, "I am sure that there is a big secret behind you and that he will reach him one day." She tells him, "On my eyes and on my head, turn around until you reach him." She leaves him and quickly runs away before she falls into words, but Tao still follows her. He goes to ask Kamal since he is the only person who lives next to her and sees her every day. If she was tired before, he tells him that he does not remember. And Mimi starts to get nervous and feels that she is about to be caught. But suddenly, all the people around them start shouting, saying that there is a fire and that a child is trapped inside. Mimi is shocked without warning. She tries to go and help her, but Tao stops her. Of course, she does not care about his words. She lets go of his hand and goes to the child who turns out to be Tao's sister. He decides to go after him even if he dies. She starts to enter the middle of the fire without anything happening to her. They are able to save her. The girl and they get out of the fire with ease, and Tao comes out without a scratch, but Mimi comes out as if she didn't even go in. And vice versa. There is no sign on her that she was in a fire. As for Jimmy, he goes quickly to check on her. He takes off his jacket and gives it to her so that she doesn't feel cold. She starts to get nervous and doesn't know who to choose because her heart started beating for both of them, and she started thinking all the time it's either Tao or Jimmy. And when she goes to the company the next day, she finds Tao waiting for her, and he tells her that he won't leave her until she tells him everything. How come nothing happened to you in the fire? But before she can loose her tongue, Jimmy comes and saves her. He tells him that he wants her in the office and warns her that from today she has nothing to do with Tao, and he is not allowed to go out with him because Tao is reckless and might put her in danger, and he doesn't want you to get close to him. He hints to her that he admires her and is jealous. At that moment, Mimi gets nervous and goes to John and asks him, "Who will you choose now?" He tells her, "You have to choose who your heart beats for. So look, you're going to Tao. Your heart beats for 3 times. Okay, we've passed them. You'll go now. Jimmy, your heart beats for 2 times. Then we know you love Tao. Act beat 3 times. That's what will break your curse and make you go back to being a normal person and die soon too. And we'll be rid of you." She tells him, "I was wrong to even take the opinion of an idiot like you." She leaves him and walks away, and suddenly she finds Jilly in front of her. She tells her that she's discovered everything and that she's an immortal girl who isn't exposed to any fatigue or pain. She says to her, "Who are you and what exactly do you want from here? Don't be the cursed witch who curses girls and tries to stab her." But of course, she isn't affected by what's happening, so she becomes certain that this Mimi isn't an ordinary person, and from the shock, she faints completely. But Mimi. She leaves her as she is and goes to the office to find her investor, Pam, there, shouting and telling them that the police couldn't catch anything on him, and that's why they left him, and accused Jimmy of being the one who did this to the girls. They all shout at him and say, "How are you an idiot?" This is Jimmy himself, the manager. He is the most respectable person we have known. He is the one who brought us honor and happiness. He is the best manager that every girl could wish for. They all defend him. Then Pam gets angry and goes to Jimmy and hits him, throwing him on the cooler. He falls and falls. Everyone tries to end the fight between them. He goes to Jimmy and tries to stand him up. At that moment, he feels a very strong heat. And the strange thing is that he doesn't understand where it comes from. Jimmy just stands up and doesn't concentrate. Then Pam gets angry and says to him, "Don't think that I will leave you alone. I will finish you off, but your time will surely come." He leaves him and walks away. Jack is walking on the water. Suddenly he feels that it is boiling water. He keeps screaming and is surprised and doubting the matter, and he feels that this Jimmy also did not ask their manager, is there something strange behind him or what? And he goes to Mimi and tries to talk to her and says to her, "Tell me the truth." As soon as she sees him and his eyes meet hers, her heart beats and she gets nervous, and just as John told her, she is really sure that her heart chose him and she is going to speak. But Kamal senses and saves her from him and tells her, "We have to go home immediately." And he takes her and leaves. And when she arrives home, here is the surprise. She finds that Jilly is there. But what is there is exactly her head. And the strange thing is that she is talking and everything is fine, and she does not understand what is happening. She calls Jane and tells him to come quickly. She does not understand anything, and when he leaves, he is shocked. They ask her how she is alive, and she tells them that she met the man who kills girls and turns them into old women, and I saw his shape. But unfortunately, he cursed me and separated my body from my head and made me not remember who he is. They try to help her reach her body then. Of course, she will return to her normal self, and Mim reassures her and tells her that she will not leave her alone like this and will return her to her body again, no matter what happens. She begs her not to mention him to anyone at work, because if they know that I am a head talking without a body, they will all be afraid of me and think I am a genie or something. She says, "Who is the genie? There is no such thing as you are stupid or what. I will tell them that you are tired and have taken a leave of absence, and on your way to the company, you find Pam waiting outside." Obelisk says that he wants to talk to him about something important, but she doesn't give him any chance. He gets angry, and when he takes out the gun, he decides that he is going to get rid of her. She becomes afraid and tells him, "That's it. I'll come with you in good faith." Kamal sees them, but before he catches up, he runs and does anything else. Take her with him. Kamal calls Tao quickly, and they find out what happened with our heroine. He brings his car, and they go after her. On the way, he talks to Mimi, who tells her that he doubts Jimmy and that he's not a person. It is normal, and she should be afraid of him and take care. So she tells him that she is not interested in the first place and that she has no relationship with Jimmy. So he decides that he is using her since he knows that Jimmy loves her, and she will call him and threaten him that if he does not come before him today, he will get rid of Mimi. Jimmy is shocked and decides that he will go and save Mimi. At the same time, Tao tries to stop his car, and then it accidentally flops, and an accident happens, and Tao gets off quickly to check on Mimi, but he is shocked. Unfortunately, he finds her getting out of the car and there is no scratch on it. No, the car is already burning and there is a mother inside her, and the world is wasted on her and there is no difference with her. At that time, a flashback comes back to her, and he remembers the appearance of the girl that he and his friend followed before that, and she looks like Mimi, who was white and looked for her for years and who fell in love with her and will never forget her. But before he catches up with her, he confronts her or says anything. The police will reach her, so he takes her and runs away. Quickly, and not only that, he also decides that he will give her a ride. But he waits for her to talk or say anything, but she stays silent, so he respects her decision, and that she does not want to introduce herself to him, and he also does not discuss the issue with her. When she returns home, she tells John about what happened. He becomes worried and tells her that she is in danger, and there may be someone else. He also hates Jimmy, and he may get rid of her, she says, and she tells him, I don't understand. Something that means he tells her, look, what's wrong with it? She approached Jimmy and tried to get you guys in a relationship or something, so they thought about it. They all started trying to ruin the relationship, and that's for sure because they seem to know that the curse will be broken if you guys get in a relationship. She gets shocked and starts to worry and is afraid of being like Jilly, but Jilly supports her and tells her not to worry as long as I'm by your side, meaning don't be afraid, Dot. When she goes to the office, it is obvious that she is nervous and worried, so Jimmy decides to surprise them and take them all on a trip to the beach so they can have fun. They have to forget the crap they were living in, and they get very happy. They decide that they will play a game, and each one of them will put his name in a box. At the end, each one of us will choose a card, and the name that will be on it must bring him a gift or say something, meaning he wants to say to him. They all get excited. When it is Jilly's turn and they ask about her, Mimi gets nervous and tells them that she is tired. Guys, I told you, she's not coming yet. She decides to pull out a card for herself. After she finishes, Jimmy warns her and tells her that if Jilly does not come on the trip with them, he will expel her. She goes to tell Jilly and cries and tells her that she does not know what to do. They decide that they must help her so that she can find her body as soon as possible, and they take advantage of the fact that she can feel herself and starts to know them like this. The places where the rest of her body is currently located at the same time. Jack is worried about Jilly because he also admires her, and she's been missing for a while. So he decides to go visit her and finds Mimi there and asks her what she is doing there. She is afraid that he will catch them and tells him that she is sitting with Jilly because she is tired. He tells her she is tired, so go check on her. She tells him calm down, but where are you going? He enters again. At that time, Jilly pretends that she is tired to get rid of her, but he still remains attached to her until she makes a mistake and sneezes, and unfortunately, her head flies. So they discover everything. And Jack is shocked, and from the shock, he does it to himself literally. Dear viewer. And then they sit like this and say to him, listen, my son, I know that you do not understand anything now and will not believe anything. So we will say, and you take your time. The subject is that no one cursed her, meaning he separated her body from her head. He tells them, okay, I think I am dreaming, but I will complete the dream with you and I will help you. We must reach her with her body no matter what happens, so that she returns to her original form, because with this view, I might hate her. Anyway, do not worry. I do not hate you yet, even if no one looked at you and you lived in your head, but you will remain my first love for the rest of your life. She tells him, cut out your tongue. Evil is far from me. I must find a body. You spit on me. Suddenly, while they are talking, you feel that her body went to a strange party and the party is also close to them. So they decide to go and search around them to find out where this party is and where her body is. Tao comes by chance, so Mimi takes him with them and tells him about the story on the way, so he decides to help them as well. When they arrive at the party, they do not know how to enter because their appearance must be disguised. And by chance, Kylie and Jimmy appear. The two of them are invited and disguised. So Tao goes and buys clothes for them too, so that they can be disguised at the same time at the party. And they are all about being happy and dancing like this. By coincidence, Kylie is the one who sees the body that Jelly has and is shocked and still terrified. She says this is not a costume party. Oh, for sure. She's the one who treats herself like this. So she takes a body. Jelly comes out on stage and they start to dance. The two of them start dancing, and Tao sees them and is shocked and afraid of the strange sight. So Jelly asks them to put her head quickly on her body, and they succeed. And finally, her head keeps falling back on her body, so by mistake, Mimi presses the stapler on her hand. At that time, she becomes numb and feels pain, and at the time, she can't believe that she felt it at all, and they are all happy about this. It means that she can finally die and her curse will end, and she breaks up. And although Mimi's wish has finally come true and she will be able to live like a normal human being, she remains upset because she is close to dying after she got used to her friends and adapted to them, unlike everyone else. Once upon a time, she was alone and didn't know anyone, but John was the only one who was surprised and said to her, who do you think will be able to lift the curse, Jimmy or Tao? She said to him, frankly, I don't know. And she was nervous at the same time. Tao kept investigating because he still suspected that Jimmy was up to something strange. But he did all of this in secret because he knew that no one would believe him or stand by him, especially since they all loved the manager, Jimmy, who was loved by everyone because he treated them well. Every day he invited them to a different restaurant. After they finished work, they decided to go out this time and eat together in a restaurant. But suddenly a thief stole Kylie's bag, so Mimi ran after him and completely forgot that she had returned to being a normal person. And because of this, she got hurt. That's why when the thief gave her a piece of her stomach, she got hurt and she sighed. They were all shocked, and Tao ran quickly to save her from his hands. And Jim also takes her to treat the wound, and as soon as he gets close to her, she gets nervous, and Tao passes by and sees them and thinks that they are in love with each other, so he gets upset and feels jealous, and when Jimmy sees him, he gets very happy that he was able to make him jealous and also make Mimi like him. He takes them to an expensive hotel, and they keep playing and jumping around as they please. And Jimmy also tries to get close to Mimi during the trip, and does not leave her alone at all with Tao. He takes her to the amusement park and brings her all the things she likes, and she is happy when she is with him, because he treats her like a princess exactly. And it is very clear that he admires her and loves her, and her feelings for him also start to develop, and she forgets her feelings for Tao. But Tao does not give up, and when he finds Mimi sitting alone, he goes to sit with her, but before he can talk about anything, she comes to him, so he leaves and she takes advantage of the opportunity, and she asks her who she likes now. She tells her that she doesn't know and that in the morning she liked Jimmy. But when he gets close to her, her heart beats in a strange way, as if she is attached to him. They all gather, each one preparing a gift for the person whose name appeared on the paper. And Mimi finds out that Tao is preparing him a gift, but he leaves the base and walks before taking it. And she gets upset because he avoids her again, and she goes to talk to him and asks him if there is anything that bothers him, and at that time he avoids her. So she leaves him alone without any gift. But he stops her and confesses to her that he is upset because her curse has been lifted, which means that she might die, and he is afraid for her and upset. And she is affected by the words, but Jimmy calls them all to drink, and they sit and drink lemonade, and Mimi starts talking nonsense, exposing herself and saying in front of everyone that she is cursed, and that one of those sitting, he is the one who broke her curse, and Johnny tries to shut her up, but she doesn't care, and goes to confess to Tao in front of everyone that she likes him, and when she sees him, her heart beats. So Jimmy gets upset and takes her and tells her that he wants to tell her something, so she goes with him. Then he takes the opportunity and tries to make her taste raisins, and takes advantage of the fact that she is drunk and does not comprehend or understand what is happening to her. And despite that, unfortunately, he is shocked, and Tao passes by and sees them, and realizes that he no longer has a chance with Mimi, and thinks that she also likes Jimmy, and when she goes to the office the next day, she keeps avoiding him. But Jack receives a call from the hotel where they were staying yesterday, and they inform them that a case happened exactly like Van's assistant. And unfortunately, when they took the fingerprints of her not being old, they discovered that she was a young woman, and now you are the suspects, and they have to investigate everyone who was present in the hotel, and the only thing left is them. Mimi gets shocked and realizes that the magician, someone around her, is trying to remember what happened yesterday and who left them and went to the bathroom. It turns out that Jimmy and Tao both left, and it begins. The policeman investigates Tao and asks him if he suspects anyone, so he tells him that he doesn't know very well, but he is sure that Pam was not at fault and did nothing to the bodies before, and that the killer is someone else. He tries to expose them, but the officer doesn't benefit from anything he says because, unfortunately, each one of them has an excuse that he wasn't in the bathroom at that time, especially Jimmy because he was with Mimi at the amusement park, and everyone saw him tasting raisins with her. This way, suspicion falls on John and Jack. They also say that Jack is an idiot and doesn't do stupid things, while John was with them the whole time, and the last one was Kamal, so he was sleeping early and they wouldn't have been able to suspect anyone except Tao, especially since he suddenly disappeared. But before he left, he confessed to Mimi that he loves her and that he does everything to protect her, and he asked her not to believe anything. Rumors about him are that she doesn't understand what he means, and none of them understand anything. The next day, when the police come to inform them of the latest developments in the case, they ask about Tao and discover that he didn't come. When they try to call his number, it's switched off, so they all spread rumors that Tao is the one who's doing this to the victims and that he's the real killer. Mimi is shocked, especially when Jimmy brings her evidence that proves that Tao really is him. Because she's so upset and can't concentrate, she crosses the road without noticing. At that moment, a bus unfortunately hits her, and there's a young man in the same place. Or when he sees her, he's shocked and runs quickly to check on her. But she suddenly gets up as if nothing had happened. He can't believe his eyes, and we find out that this is Tao's childhood friend, and he remembers when Tao told him about the hero. The one who saved him and his friend when the train was about to run them over and nothing happened to them. And now he believes Tao. So he asks Mimi to talk to each other for a while, so they go to the restaurant and he tells her that Tao didn't do anything, and that he is sure that his friend is innocent and that he is definitely the real killer they are looking for around them, and he is the one who is trying to delay them so that they suspect Tao. Mimi believes him and starts to sympathize with Tao, especially since before he disappeared, he confessed his love to her and asked her not to believe anything. And when she goes to the office the next day, she is shocked when she finds a circulated article from Tao in which he says that Jimmy is the real killer, the criminal they are looking for. But no one in the office believes him because Jimmy has not found anything about him at all, and that day he was with Mimi. And Jimmy was also yelling at him, and he tells them to remove this article before their company is harmed, but it's done anyway. The company is damaged and its shares have fallen to the ground, so they are forced to hold a photo shoot and make low-quality ads to make money. At the same time, Jack finally starts to think. He feels that something is wrong with him and John, especially since they know that Tao is very smart and straightforward, and that he is not afraid of anything. If he was really the real killer, he would not have escaped at all. They start looking for him, but they do not find him. At the same time, Tao wakes up and we learn that he was kidnapped, and the killer put him in an elevator and locked it to get rid of him. As for Mimi, she waits for the person who will film the ad with her, but he is late. Jimmy seizes the opportunity and dresses in a groom's suit and decides to appear with her. He's very happy, but she is upset and worried about Tao, especially since no one knows his location yet. She's afraid that something happened to him. When it happens, it is jackpot. They also notice that the elevator has been closed for several days and no one comes to maintain it, and they feel that there is something behind it, so they decide to search for it. At the same time, Jimmy asks Mimi about her opinion of him and if she has feelings for him like he does, but she denies it. He says to her, "How? How did I forget everything that happened between us at the amusement park and how we got close?" She says, "Unfortunately, this happened while I was drunk. But in reality, I don't have feelings for you. The only feelings I have are for Tao, and he is the only person I love." Jimmy gets angry but decides to continue filming. From here on, he decides to show her who he is. We now know that Jimmy is the cursed magician who did this to all the girls and that he is also immortal like Mimi. He loved her for a long time and pursued her and tried to reach her until he finally managed to find her. That's why all the strange incidents that happened in the office were because of him. When Tao. Finally, he revealed his true identity and decided to expose him. Jimmy didn't hold back and locked him in the elevator so he would suffocate and die. After Mimi finds out everything, she decides to escape, but Jimmy decides to control her and threatens to kill her and Tao. At the same time, Jilly is finally able to remember what happened on the day her head was separated from her body. She remembers that on that day, she saw someone kissing a girl, and after that, the girl turned into an old woman. When she went to see her, she discovered that it was the cursed Jimmy, but at that time he was able to erase her memories and separate her body from her head. Because of that, she no longer remembers anything. As for Tao, they finally find him in the elevator, but unfortunately, he faints, so they quickly take him to the hospital. At the same time, Mimi's memories start to return to her, and she remembers the time when the Sun Tribe wanted to marry her to their prince. That prince was Jimmy, but he looked ugly, and a thug and no girl would be willing to be associated with him and her father because he needed money like Jimmy, but she hated him and stayed away from him since then, and he cursed her with a curse that no one could get close to her or be associated with her. And this meant that she would live alone all her life and everyone around her and whom she loved would die in front of her eyes and no one could do anything to her. So Mimi begged him to leave her. But he said he refused and told her that from today she would live with him forever. And he took her from a deserted place where no one could find him. So she asked him why he was doing this well. And there was something behind him and they were trying to finish him off. Jimmy got angry and decided to finish off Tao, but then saved him at the last moment and took the curse in his place and fainted. And was shocked, because Kamal was his brother 2,000 years ago. Yes, dear viewer, this is the second shock is Jimmy's brother. And Jimmy decided he finally does something right in his life. He decides to give up his power and save his brother and dies instead of him. Of course, Jimmy did this in the strangest decision he had ever made in his life. They all get relief from him, and Kamal comes back to life. Mimi also gets free from him and finally gets engaged to Tao. They live together and get married. Days pass, and they have children who are just like them. 40 years pass since that day, and we find out that Mimi died, and Tao is still living on her memories, living on his love for her, and has not been able to forget her until now, even though she achieved her dream. But now she is happy because she has children from Tao.